guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Carla, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to decorate some beautiful Christmas cookies. We are going to be decorating a Santa Claus and a snowflake, and Christmas is just around the corner, so these are going to be perfect for a gift for your coworker, for your friend, for family, even for your kid's teacher. That's what I'm planning on doing. So let's go ahead and get started on decorating these beautiful cookies. So I already have my sugar cookies made. Here's the Santa Claus and the snowflake. If you guys would like to know how to make these sugar cookies, please check out my other video. I do have a video on how to make the sugar cookies and the royal icing as well. But before I get started, if you like this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, please like, comment, and share this video. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab my snowflake. And I have my white royal icing here, which I'm gonna just go ahead and flatten my whole snowflake. I also have a scribe here just in case I need to wiggle my icing. But if you don't have a scribe, you can go ahead and use a toothpick as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start outlining my snowflake. If it doesn't come out perfect, don't worry. You can always go back when you start flooding it and fix in those areas. Now for flooding, I use the same consistency. I'm just pressing a little harder. That way more icing comes out. These are gonna be so pretty. You guys can add any other decorations on top of the ones that I'm already gonna show you. What's perfect about these cookies is you can make them as unique as you want. Everyone has a different idea on how to decorate them. I'm just gonna give you my example. I just start doing the same pattern over and over again until I've fully covered my cookie. If you leave gaps, no worries, we'll fill them in right now. So I'm done filling in my snowflake. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my scribe now and fill in the little gaps like I told you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of bring it more out than originally I had. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit. I want it to fully dry before I start decorating my snowflake. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my Santa now. So what I like to do is actually draw out what I'm gonna do. So I kind of just like did an outline here. You guys don't have to do that. It makes it a little bit easier for me. I used this pen. It's a Maricolor Gourmet Writer. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. It was a green one and a yellow one. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off outlining my white. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off here. This is gonna be the Santa hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and flood this as well. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my scribe and make it look a little bit more like what I want it to look like. Also, there's air bubbles, you can go ahead and just pop them. So once I'm done with my white here, I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for a little bit. It has to dry before I can go ahead and do the other decorations that I want. I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if my snowflake is a little dry, which I think it is, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on my snowflake. But part of my Santa dries, I'm gonna continue with my snowflake. So I'm gonna use this blue color and I'm just gonna start piping some lines here. I love the way this blue turned out. It's like a winter wonderland. So you just press, drag, and press. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the other lines. Gonna start here, press, down, press, down, press, down, press, down. Oh, I can't wait for Christmas. What do you guys have planned for Christmas? We usually spend it with my husband's side of the family, so with my in-laws. And that's on the 24th, and then on the 25th, we go with my side of the family. So that way we get to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas with both sides of the family. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing towards the inner side of the snowflake. You have to have lots of patience to do this. My kids love to decorate these cookies. My husband doesn't really have patience. He's usually always behind the camera. We're almost done, guys. One more. Look at how pretty our snowflake is looking. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I have these here, these little sprinkles, so I'm not sure what to use these for. I feel like I'm gonna do, maybe, I'm gonna use one of these. I bought these at Fry's, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some icing here in the middle, and I'm gonna use this one here. Give it like a different pop of color. Look at how pretty that is. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and maybe put some on like the tips of the snowflakes. What color should I use? Should I use the same color or should I use white? I'm gonna ask my husband, see what he says. Should I use the gold or the white?
White.
The white. My husband says to go with the white. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the white. Alrighty, the white it is. So the middle is just a slightly different color. That's gonna look pretty. Now you guys, if you guys don't have these little beads, you guys can just leave it as is. You guys can use sprinkles. You guys can use a different color. It's just up to you guys. I am showing you guys this design, which is really pretty. You guys can also make them in red, green, any color, and I'm sure they're gonna look absolutely beautiful. Can't wait to eat these. People normally don't want to eat them because they're so pretty, but they taste delicious as well. So this is one of our snowflakes. It is done. Look at how pretty this is. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Frozen, the movie Frozen. Does it remind you guys of Frozen? I'm gonna ask my daughter, she's right behind here. Camila, does this remind you of Frozen?
Yeah, and just talking about Frozen, it seems like Frozen 2.
Frozen 2's about to come out,
The white one is like Elsa, and then the middle one's like Anna.
Yeah, so it has a mix of both of them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this snowflake aside, continue on with our Santa Claus. So now that our white part has dried from our Santa hat, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the red part of the Santa hat. Gonna squeeze to flood in. I use the same consistency for my flood and my outline. There's some people that like to use two, but I just stick with one. I find it a little bit easier. Not that much work. Now to get a really nice red, you can always let the color sit, your icing, and it'll develop into a darker color. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my scribe and fill it all in. Make sure that it looks nice and pretty and it connects to the white. Now if you notice, I didn't pipe my icing so close to the white. I usually leave a gap and just use my scribe to get it as close as possible as I can. I feel it looks a little nicer and I don't have to be that cautious to where it gets onto the white. So that's a tip that I like to do that you guys might find convenient as well. So since my white line is already dry and I'm gonna wait for my red to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do Santa's skin, which is this color. So I'm gonna go ahead and pipe. It looks a little white, but trust me, once it dries, it's gonna look more like his skin color. I believe I used the color ivory for this. Grab my scribe, clean it down because it has some red from the red, and just move it around. You guys think it's starting to look like Santa? I do. While I let Santa's face dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do the little pom-pom on my Santa hat. Grab my scribe. It's a little hard to do circles, but I'm sure you guys are pros at it. Now, I'm kind of thinking, should I add sprinkles to this or not to make the pom-pom stand out? What do you guys think? I do have some here. That way it kind of looks like it has snow. I'm gonna add just a tad bit. I'm gonna make sure I don't get it on my skin, Santa's skin. I don't want his skin to look like it has snow. So I'm just gonna do that. Get these out of the way that we're so close to get onto Santa's face. I believe this is gonna give it a little extra detail that's gonna make it look super cute. You can use your scribe to move it around, and we're gonna let that sit. One of my snowflakes is already done. Look at how pretty it is. My other two Santas are drying. Now, I put a little bit of snow on one and I left the other one without. That way you guys can kind of see which one you guys prefer. So I'm gonna go ahead and start decorating my second snowflake. I decided on doing a red and green since this one I already did blue. That way you guys can get a feeling more of like Christmas with the red and green colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one. We'll see how this one's gonna turn out. Which colors do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer, can you guys hear my son laughing in the background? Do you guys prefer the blue and white, the gold and white, or the red and green? I like the red and green. It looks more Christmassy. Christmas is my favorite season. I absolutely love it. And doing these cookies has become a tradition for me and my family. This is the second year that we're gonna decorate cookies, so I hope this becomes a tradition for you and your family as well. So I'm gonna do something similar to the other one. Do like a V shape. For this, your icing shouldn't be that runny, because if not, your lines won't keep its shape. Looks so pretty. And it's super easy. That's the best part. Easy, yummy, because these cookies are gonna taste super delicious. Okay, so I'm done with my red. I'm gonna go ahead and do my green. So with my green, I'm gonna go ahead and do like these little loops. Kind of like that. All around. It's gonna look kind of like a flower in a way. Sorry guys, that's my trash can that's opening. And one more. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my red and just do a little dot right in the middle. That way it doesn't look so green. And I'm gonna grab my green, do a dot right at the end. Right at the end here. 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 And here. Now you can always use your scribe if you have some icing that's standing up. And I'm also going to just do some dots here to kind of fill in the spaces and it doesn't look so white. Look at how Christmassy this snowflake looks. I think I like this one better than my blue one. What do you guys think? Which one do you guys prefer? The green and red or the blue and white one that looks like Frozen? Which one? Snowflake 1, Snowflake 2. Which one do you guys like better? Comment down below which one you guys like better, Snowflake 1 or Snowflake 2. Back to our Santa Clauses. I'm gonna go ahead now and fill in everything else with Santa's beard. Just gonna zigzag it all the way through. It's so weird how it doesn't look like the beard, but once you use your scribe, it gets that perfect beard that you're wanting. You can always wipe down your scribe to get better corners. I feel that works best for me when I clean my scribe on my corners. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I'm not gonna let him sit. I can go ahead and pipe the eyes now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pipe on the eyes of Santa. I'm just gonna kind of see where I'm gonna pipe them. I don't want them too far apart or too big or too small. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do them there. So there's one, there's the other. Hope they're both around the same size. This one seems to be a little bit smaller. So Santa Claus design number 1 and number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on this one as well. So eye number 1 and eye number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and let my Santa sit for a bit before I actually do his mustache and his nose. Since I piped the beard, it has to be fully dry. While I'm waiting for my beard to dry, I decided I'm gonna give Santa some eyebrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him some eyebrows here and another eyebrow over here. I'm gonna go ahead and pipe my Santa's mustache. There's one, I'm gonna fill it in. This is the second one. So I'm gonna let that dry before doing his nose. Every detail you start adding onto the Santa, he starts looking more and more realistic. So since I did a little bit of snow on this hat, I think I'm gonna do a flower on this one. So I'm basically going to do 3 circles. And then I'm gonna do my leaves. 1, 2, 3. I have this green, which I'm gonna use for my leaves. How it's tricky to move them around while you're adding all these details in order for you not to mess up everything else you have done. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry. I think that looks super cute. The Santa hat doesn't look that plain anymore. Look at that. Santa 1 and Santa 2. Super cute, huh? So now I'm gonna do the officially last step of the Santa Claus, and that is piping his nose. It's a pretty big circular nose. So that's nose number 1. And we're gonna do nose number 2. And this is how my Santa Claus and my snowflakes turned out. They are absolutely beautiful. I love how my chunky Santa Clauses turned out. I did a little poinsettia on this one. I did some snow on this one. This snowflake is more of a blue wintry wonderland, and this is a really Christmassy one. Now, if you guys liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye!